Look for the magical creature who lives in Mousewood. You have already met one of them, a little man in green. Your cards tell me that you will learn another spell from him. But to do so, you must ask him if you want to see me.
Just a sec. Welcome back.
I've heard that the Hare family is waiting for a cake.
Yes, yes. They celebrate every night and have very special requirements. But unfortunately, I'm missing a couple of ingredients.
And I bet you just happen to have a list for me, don't you?
Yes, you guessed it. If you find the ingredients, I can make the cake, and you can take it to the hares.
See you later.
Take care.
Missing ingredients for the Hare family's cake. A handful of sweet red berries, chocolate, some milk, and beet syrup. Missing ingredients for the Hare family's cake. A handful of sweet red berries, chocolate, some milk, and beet syrup. Cool, rose hips. When they're dried, you can use them as itching powder. Missing ingredient: a handful of sweet red berries, chocolate, some milk, and beet syrup. Missing ingredient: a handful of sweet red berries, chocolate, some milk, and beet syrup. I'm sorry?
If only I weren't so bored. Bah! Bored! Bored! Cards? All right.
Take your seats. Opponent asks for a card. Draw a card.
Oh no.
It's your turn.
I'm sure you've got this card.
Excellent.
Let's see what card you've got there. I'm sure you've got this card.
Bonus.
Bonus?
Draw a card. Opponent's turn. Opponent asks for a card. Opponent asks for a card.
Oh no.
Opponent asks for a card. Opponent asks for a card. Draw a card. It's your turn.
I'm sure you've got this card. Oh, rats.
Draw a card. Opponent's turn. Opponent asks for a card. Opponent asks for a card. Opponent asks for a card. Opponent's quartet. Opponent asks for a card. Opponent Opponent asks for a card. Draw a card.
Oh no.
Choose a card.
I'm sure you've got this card.
Excellent.
Let's see what card you've got there. This card. I bet you've got it. Huh, I might have known.
Draw a card. Opponent's turn. Opponent asks for a card. 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 Draw a card. Choose a card.
I'm sure you've got this card. Haha. Let's see. This card. I bet you've got it. Haha. Let's see. I'm sure you've got this card.
Well played.
And another quartet. Let's see. This card. I bet you've got it. I was so sure that would work.
Draw a card. Opponent's turn. Opponent asks for a card. Draw a card. It's your turn.
This card. I bet you've got it. I was so sure that would work.
Draw a card. Opponent's turn. Opponent asks for a card. Opponent asks for a card. Opponent asks for a card.
Oh no.
Game over. Too bad. You lose.
Ha If only I weren't so... Bored!
The dwarves have restarted their blue juice production, but I wouldn't be able to sleep with that noise. Remember thank you gift for the badgers for the rhubarb pie. They planted root fields in between all the trees, and they stretch out far into the forest. Planting and harvesting all those roots must be an awful lot of work.
Looks like we'll have to get our mosquito bites somewhere else then.
Is there any hope?
With all the moisture that creeps into my transmitter in the swamp? Never! Someone might complain about my watered-down contributions.
What? But your fans...
They'll say my jokes are all wet.
How will you explain to your fans that you're quitting?
With damp eyes.
Because everything's flooded, right?
No, because it's really sad.
Oh, you can't just give up like that.
I'm not giving up. Crack a nut, squirrel, as the young people say these days. No, to get me to stop broadcasting, they'll have to tie my arms, legs, mouth, and belly button.
I have to be going.
See you soon. And remember, Swamp Radio 103.6, 5. Mole in the morning, mole at noon, and mole in the evening.
Whoa! That is a big spider. Holy cow! As long as it stays right there, it can keep its pretty spider web. Not now. Nice web, and no spider anywhere to be seen. It's probably gone to construct a much nicer web somewhere else. Feels really stable, and not at all sticky. It must be pretty old. No. Missing ingredients for the Hare family's cake. A handful of sweet red berries, chocolate, some milk, and beet syrup.
Some have reported a fox. I also met the juice in the nuts glows like... Yes, it's a bit odd.
I'd really like to have a nut like that.
Me too. I don't have, unfortunately, except for the town council and the hare but now and then I look in when I...
I think I know how...
All right. I always say laughing customers are paying customers. So show me a show that makes the audience laugh. If it works, we'll swap your program for the water nut.
Okay. You want jokes? I'll improvise for you.
Well then, good luck. And now, opening for the wonderful Church Mouse Jr., ladies and gentlemen, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry! Are we getting the nut again?
No, now it's time for a laugh.
Oh no, I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh, I know what you mean.
Here it comes. Well, why did the chicken cross the road?
What? You can't be serious. Our cousin Henry lives on the road. At least that's where he used to live. Now he lives in the hospital.
Oh, I didn't know.
Jerry,
It's all right, but it isn't funny either.
get off the stage.
Again, I'm sorry.
No offence taken. He didn't mean it like that. I know.
Jerry, you can't tell road jokes to hedgehogs. Everybody knows that. Here, take the paper and pencil and go look for good jokes. Jokes that the local audience can appreciate.
Okay, that's probably a good idea. Thanks. Break a leg. I have to go.
Break a leg? Is that supposed to be funny? What strange children some parents have. Isn't that right, Junior? Exactly.
I ought to talk to people who like jokes. I ought to talk to people who like jokes. In mouth to the confident. I ought to talk to people who like jokes. I ought to talk to people who like jokes.
Looks like we'll have to get our mosquito bite.
I have to be.
See you soon. And remember, Swamp Radio, mole in the mole and mole in the east.
I've heard that the fields are haunted at night. I'd really like to see, but I think it's much too creepy. Oh.
I ought to talk. I ought to. I'm looking for jokes.
Please, no jokes. I have a headache.
I ought to talk to people who like jokes. I ought to. I ought. I don't think sleeping drops will help me here. Mr. Churchmouse said I should look for authentic mousewood material for jokes. Maybe then he'll even give me his water nut. I ought to talk to... I ought to talk... I...
Bored!
I ought to talk to...
Just a sec. Welcome back.
I ought to talk to people. I ought to... About the...
If you find the ingredients, I can make the cake, and you can take it to the hares. Just take a look at the list of ingredients.
See you later.
Take care.
I'm listening to Swamp Radio 103.6... No, 5. The mug is empty. Smells like cheese.
Bored!
No. No.
Sew and tinker every day. Yes, I like it just that way.
A huge
Handy tools all shiny new. Achoo!
A huge abandoned train station.
Sew and tinker every day.
I ought to talk. I ought. Now I've got milk. Missing ingredients for the hare family. A handful of sweet red berries, chocolate, some milk, and beet syrup. Empty. Transfer complete. I have to be careful or the chocolate will melt. That's what Mum always... I'm sure my mug is an all-purpose weapon, but it won't help me here. I'm sure my mug... For once... Rose hips are cool. The dwarves have restarted their blue, but I wouldn't be able to. They planted root fields in between all the and planted.
You again. Have you come back to rub it in again that you helped me? Pah!
What? No.
Good for you. But anyway, thank you. When we're harvesting our dwarf roots here, you can use our guest bed in the house. Did you hear that, lads? This boy is our guest. Meh! Bah! Bah! They said you're welcome at any time.
I really appreciate that.
Pah! Don't mention it.
Anyway, but there it is, hidden among tree roots. For once, milk won't help. For once. I'm sure my mug is an all... The machine is running again. A stick won't help here. A stick won't help. Locked. Nah, it's standing still. I probably shouldn't touch it. Nah, I probably should. It even says so on the little plaque on the wheel. Better keep your paws off. I'm sure my mum. And to the left. Cool. So this is how you make blue juice. Nah, it's standing still. I probably shouldn't touch it. It used to be a large antenna with a fish hook attached, and now it's an anti-crow thingy without a fish hook. It used to be a Looks like it's still life. Mr. Churchmaster's son obviously still hasn't overcome his stage fright. Break a leg.
Exactly.
They smell earthy. I like mushrooms a lot better like this than in Mum's salads. Ugh. I ought to talk. A table shaped like a three-leaved clover. Steppenweasel by Ermine Hesse. That sounds familiar. Actually, no, it doesn't. I wonder if there's a mouse inside. Nope, empty. A knight's armor, just like in a book. Well, if knights had been little hamsters, oh, that would have been so cute. Nobody would have wanted to fight a war. I'd better not use the book here. I'm looking for jokes.
Please, no, I have a headache.
I ought to talk to people. For once, milk won't help. For once. For once,